This man never waters it though. He ain't living because of him.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of the HBCU podcast, the show. Anything you want it to be with your host, Hashim the Dream. You already know what it is. And my co host,
The rising good people, Bobby K here, and our editor, honorary host.
Wally not well, y'all. What's popping?
Yes, sir. Shout out to your Powder Puff Girls hoodie for those who are watching this on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Nah, this one, I gotta. We're gonna really figure out people's mindsets on this one. This is a good one. This is another one for the youngins. Y'all take a seat and just chill and relax and listen up. All right, this is for the
They can't
adults.
chill and relax. They got ADHD. They can't sit down for 2 seconds. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Continue. Go ahead.
Wow. Damn. So, my proof of the lose it for today is I wholeheartedly 100% believe that couples should live together prior to marriage. I wholeheartedly believe that. I've seen a lot of discourse in the past couple recent years that's been debunking that or been trying to refute that. And it does not make no sense to me whatsoever. Because to me, as far as I'm concerned, when you look at a marriage, it is a long-term commitment. It is something that you are devoting the rest of your life to, right? Till death do us part, right? That's the motto of marriage. Till death do us part. Yeah, you mean to tell me you are going to make a whole ass lifelong commitment to someone that you love and you cherish, but y'all not going to live together first? Like that doesn't compute in my mind. That doesn't make sense to me. And I could break down the logic of why I feel that way. But I just want to hear from y'all real first what y'all initially think about when you hear that thought.
I agree.
Mm.
It's more so
What I
like
answer?
you don't want to get surprised with like the habits that they have by living with them. Like, say if you never live with them, then you get married and then you live together, then it's like, wow, I didn't know she did this or he did this. It's like, oh, this is how they are at home. That's crazy. I never knew this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it's a different part of the person that you get to see
Mm-hmm.
that I feel like you shouldn't wait until after you're married to find out.
It's like doing the process backwards almost, right? Like you're gonna live with them after you've already given each other rings and like been together. Like, does that not seem ass backwards?
I feel like after you, especially after you like they're your fiance, you should start living together.
I would argue even before that, to be
No,
honest,
for sure. But I
depending on
said
how, yeah, like
at least,
at the very least.
if that's your fiance and she or he comes just to sleep over a couple hours at a time, I feel like that's kind of weird. Unless it's arranged marriage, and you ain't got no choice. You gotta live separate. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
But
It
Wale,
can work out.
My question for you, Bobby, is what counts as living together? Because are we talking about you going to your partner's house for an extended period of time and then going back, and repeating this process
That's
for some
visiting.
time? Or are
I'm
you just talking
saying,
about
I'm saying when I say live together, I'm not talking about, oh, I'm gonna go over to my honey's house for the weekend, or I'm gonna go over there a couple days a week. No, I mean you got a U-Haul that's packing your shit up, taking it from one location to that location permanently. You are with them every day. Y'all are sleeping together. Oh, we'll talk about that in a second. But y'all are inhabiting the same space every day. Y'all are roommates. Y'all are living together.
all right, so I agree. Because you don't know a person until you see their day-to-day habits and their comfortable living space. So
Mm-hmm.
like I could the reason why I asked that question because since I was young, I would have me and my brother would visit like cousins and whatnot for the weekend, and that's like days on end, and repeat that process for years, and it feels like we basically live with them, and vice versa. Like they got our living habits, you know. That's what I'm saying. But obviously, a couple, unless you plan to do that shit for 5 years or something without getting engaged, that's different.
I mean,
But
I
yeah, I agree. You
I,
learn the
c-
person's habits. You learn, huh, Robin?
I was gonna say I could understand if they living in like say they living in New York City and you know rent expensive when they where they at got they got good deal, you know, maybe it's like a steal, you paying $500 for a penthouse suite, you know, it's maybe I said it's a steal, right?
But in
uh
1985,
I
what?
th- it could happen, like some like parents can hand it down and hand it down, they get it for the cheap, they get it for the low, you know. And then you know you live in separate places, and then but I still feel like once you fiance, it's like, you know, let's you know find somewhere to live together.
Like I said, I would say even before your fiancés, because if you think about it, right, and most times, and like there's no like set time frame for when you become engaged, when you become married, right? But most oftentimes it's at least, a few years, 2 to 3 plus years that you guys are together before you guys are comfortable with the idea of, okay, we're going to get engaged, we're going to get married, we're going to have our whole future aligned together. So if you're doing that, and especially if you're planning on having children with this person, which I would assume most times, if you're getting married with that person, y'all going to have kids, right? So if
Depends
that's the
on what
case,
they want.
of course, everyone's not the same. One size does not fit all, but I'm talking about in a general sense. Most people, if you're gonna want to get married, you're gonna want to have kids with this person. You're telling me you're gonna be comfortable with possibly having, if you're a guy, for example, and you got a woman who you want to marry, who's gonna be the mother of your kids, and you have no idea what her living routine is. You don't know how she is when she wakes up. You don't know how she is on a day-to-day basis. Ladies, you don't know how he cleans up. You don't know how he just operates on a daily basis. He might come from work and be the most pissed off person in the world, a version of him you have never seen, that you've never been familiar with because you never lived with him before. Y'all just going back and forth place to place, just like visiting. Like you said, Wale, you go with your cousins, right? And your brothers, y'all used to visit each other. You telling me that's the same thing as if you was with them every single day in that house? Like waking up, seeing this person, eating breakfast together, coming back, like there's those are two different, completely different scenarios to me.
What if they move in too early?
Well, what's too early though?
Well, that's up to you. That's up to the relationship to decide what's too early. I would definitely say like a month,
Yeah, I would say month
two
is
months.
yeah, for sure. I would say real
3 months.
anything under a
Six,
year,
at
anything
least
under a
six
year.
months. At least 6 months to a year. Then you can. I mean,
Yeah.
that even 6 months might be a little too low, but
I mean,
yeah.
it depends. If y'all both like 35, 36, 6 months, y'all might just be like, hey, I know I want to be with you because I ain't waiting too much
I
longer
don't know.
than
I don't
to get
think. I
some
don't think
the
that.
ring on my
Nah,
finger, you know.
nah. You can't. You just can't. I don't think you should rush things like that just because of your age. So I mean,
Yeah.
you still
I
got to know a person.
Yeah, I feel you, but some people be in a mode where they like want things at a certain time frame, right? It's just like a regular goal you have with work. If you had to set in your mind, okay, by the time I'm 35, I'm gonna be married and I'm gonna have at least one child. You 33, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, reality
Shit
sets
gets
in.
sticky.
You know how people was like, oh yeah, I'll be married by like 21.
Oh,
I'll have a house. And then reality sets in, and you be like, wow, 21. I just graduated college. That's crazy.
and got mad dead.
Yeah, house is nowhere close in your future. I'm
Nope.
sorry.
Not
That's
even
just
at 25. It's not close to your future. The devil advocacy I've heard is why they don't want to share their space, essentially. I'm so used to living by myself. I'm so used to, doing things on my own. I don't want to be basically playing like because I've heard it a lot from women specifically. I don't want to play like a wifely duty, so to speak, of living with you before we're like officially married. Because I've heard this argument about against it more so from women than men.
You're gonna be living with someone eventually, and you're gonna be living with also kids under your roof. That's not even that's a stupid ass point. I'm sorry. I have to.
I feel.
Oh,
I
because
feel
how
like
the fuck?
that. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Hashim. You're so used to living by yourself. You're so used to living by yourself. Now you have that dramatic shift, that whole flip. Like I'm talking DDT on your head flip. You tell me you're gonna instantly just go into living with someone when you're so used to living with yourself. You're setting yourself up for failure. That's like
But they don't. But why should I have to live with you if we know we're going to be together for life? Why do I need to live with you first? We could just live together once we get married, right?
But the thing is,
we can find our house. We can find whatever we need to find once we are committed for sure, right?
I don't know what your type of living space is. You don't know my type of living space is. You don't know my preferred type of living space. I don't know your preferred type of living space or style. I don't know how you wake up in the morning. I don't know how often you clean or
you visit me. You know how I am in the morning.
You could be cleaning up the house and getting it ready. And also I could just be there just to help a little bit. And then once the time comes for me to leave, it's your problem. Versus see you every damn day and divvying up the responsibilities, the bills and all that shit. Who's responsible for what timing manner you gotta finish all this. You can't just say, oh, I'm gonna live by it. Man, that's some wishful thinking there. And that's coming from me. I'm usually the optimist of the whole group. That is wishful thinking if I ever seen it.
I say that I'm used to living by myself case is like, then what happens when you get married? You're gonna live with them regardless. So, unless you don't live with them still, which is very outlier.
I was about to go to another counter argument to what we've been saying, which is the idea, which I've seen both sides kind of entertain this, is we live in the same household, but we don't inhabit the same room. So we live under the same roof, but we don't sleep in the same bed. We have our separate rooms from each other.
I think that's
okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
I think that's okay.
Yeah.
I think that's fine. Why? You set your boundaries. Some people like this.
Yeah,
sleep. Yeah, sleep, especially sleeping. I can see how it's like, oh yeah, I'm on my temp. Bobby, chill out.
I'm listening.
I guess. I can see how they're like, oh, I'm on a brick in the room, right? I'm on dumb cold, and the other side is like, nah, I'm on like 75 degrees out in my room. So like, if they can't compromise or they sleep better, by themselves, and why would it be a problem? They wake up, they spend time together.
If y'all was a couple beforehand, I'm sorry, hold on, I'm sorry, Wale. If y'all was a couple beforehand, I'm pretty sure you guys have slept in the same bed together. I'm sure you guys.
No, but Bobby, that's different from being living together now.
Every day, yeah.
Like you said, every day.
Okay, but again, you've slept together in the same bed. You know their sleeping habits. If they're a tosser turner, if they like the room more cold.
Yeah, but Bobby, what if they don't like the toss and they don't like that you toss and turn or that you snore loud?
Why are you still with that person?
Because they were probably doing the do when they had to fall asleep, and or they cuddling, Netflix and chilling. Actually, Netflix and falling asleep. I don't know.
No, Wale, he just said, why are you still with that person just because you can't sleep in the same room?
I'm just saying, if that person's habit is disrupting you that much for something as important as sleeping, then why even stay with them?
That's something they can't help, though. They can't help what they do when they sleep.
They can mummify themselves. They could do something rather than not sleeping in
or they could get a different room in the same house.
Or again,
I'm going to have my wife living in a different room from me.
The mentality is, though, Bobby, is that the mindset could be, okay, they're just gonna be here for a few days and they go get the fuck up out. And like we do our loving and all that booing and all that shit, and then once they leave, all right, I get my happy hour to sleep, my safe space. I go back to my normal day to day.
See, I could respect it more if y'all said, okay, we're gonna have a separate room where it's like the cave room, or it's like the room that's dedicated for us to have our own solitude time, either to work on something creatively or maybe just chill out there, or just a different living space where we can go and inhabit for a certain frame of time. That is completely different from we are together as partners, lifelong partners, co-parenting and all eventually, and we are in two different rooms on a regular basis. That to me takes away all of
Well,
the
you said regular basis. Well, are you talking about just for sleeping purposes, or like?
No, I'm saying we have two separate rooms,
but they have the rest of the day to spend all day together.
Yeah.
You can, but if you have your own room that's different from the room of your partner, you're inevitably going to be more comfortable in your own space. That's why you guys have separate rooms.
Or they could just chill until it's like, all right, I'm gonna go to sleep, and then they just go to their room.
If we chill the whole day, why are we going to sleep in separate beds? That's weird.
That's the compromise that they came to.
Especially if you are an intimate person
and you're intimate,
huh?
It doesn't mean they have to go to their room every night.
But you're going there most nights, because then at that point, what's the point of the room then? If you're not going to be there every
night? The compromise that they make in order to live together. That's what I was saying. Maybe they came to that conclusion when they lived together first before getting married. Say, all right, I love you, but we can't be in the same room when it comes to sleepy time or something. I need my own space.
Sleepy time, I'm weak.
Feel me?
So at that point, listen, you get a futon or something.
Now, no, actually, no. My thought's done. Unless you got something else, I don't know.
What you about to say?
No, just the whole like separate rooms, but like is one partner clingy? Because if you clingy, then you dig yourself a hole there. That you have to know yourself and your partner. So, like I said, compromise. You better know how you compromise before it becomes a problem. And second, the possibility of hiding something. Like, do you trust your partner now? Because your own
hiding
space.
What, sir?
Huh?
Hiding what, sir?
Hiding what?
What are you talking about? Hiding what?
Possible sneaky links or entanglements and shit. There's that possibility.
Entanglements. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be like one person on the other side of the house, other person on the other side. Honestly, it's
all in separate rooms though, brother. Y'all in separate rooms. You think that person can't sneak somebody in while you asleep? Especially
they could sneak anybody in, and they could sneak out of the house while you're in the same bed and while you sleeping.
You know how much harder it is to sneak out of a bed?
You know how many people do it still and somehow try it? It
doesn't. Just because higher difficulty don't mean they ain't gonna do it.
No, what I'm saying is you're comparing someone sneaking out of the bed with their whole partner next to them. Imagine you and your no, time out. Imagine
but how many times have you get up to go to the bathroom?
Mm-hmm.
Go to the bathroom, be like, all right, I'm going to the bathroom. I was like, okay, they're going to sleep. They're going right back to sleep.
Okay, first off,
you can step out of the living room, do what you gotta do.
In the living room is crazy.
The echo.
This man is going to go 15 feet away to do his deed. You a different brother. What I'm saying is, if you have partners and y'all sleeping together, more than likely, there's a good chance that y'all are cuddling with each other. That means your bodies are enclosed around each other. That is a completely different thing when you guys are cuddling and you guys are in the same bed and you having to get out of that bed, sneak out of the room, close the door, and go out to do whatever you need to do, compared to if you guys are in two separate rooms to where they might not even know what the hell's going on in your room. Those are not the same thing. So yeah,
people have still done in those scenarios. It don't matter.
What happened?
People will still try to do it and have succeeded somehow.
They just don't do it at their own house. They do it in the cars.
What is the other devil's advocate you got, Bobby? Because again, we agree to this, to your statement. I want to know what else is there to this.
I mean, those are the main ones that I've heard. You know, it just seems like people are so like aloof at the idea of like, you know, living with someone else before. Like, I think people, especially younger people, like they have this like anxiety about like having not even a commitment, because I think the idea of getting married or the idea of a long-term commitment is like gratifying to a lot of people's minds. But then when you have to like really break down what that means, including living together, then it feels too far. It feels too far-fetched for a lot of people. And it could be from some semblance of like trauma from heartbreak or not fully trusting that the person's going to be there for you. Because some people might say, well, if I live with this person before we get married, what happens if we break up? Now we're on a lease together. Now we have to still figure out this whole living situation, and we can't fucking stand each other.
Well, you paying rent, so you can always break out your lease. Like you could just talk to the person, be like, "Hey, you know, I need to be on your side. See this? That's why it's even better for separate rooms.
Oh my
Now,
god!
now they definitely got their own space. Don't even gotta see the other person.
So at that point, why are y'all living together then? That doesn't make sense. You're gonna have a separate space just to prepare for the idea of y'all breaking up.
No, I was just saying it's just convenient that it so happened to happen that way. You know?
And how do you break? And I don't think it's that easy to just break out of a lease.
No, you breaking out a lease, you just renegotiating the lease. Or you honestly could just stay in the house with the significant other. Or you could be like, I'll just pay rent, you can move. Boom.
Do you think I'm the space that I'm living in, I'm gonna have to move out of because you want to stay here and I have to leave? Nah. That's gonna
What
be
if
a
you're the person
problem.
what if you're the person that caused the breakup?
It doesn't matter. I'm gonna that if the person was the one that caused the breakup, they're gonna be more likely to want to stay. It's gonna be a whole power dynamic with them. So, question: when you move in with each other, right? Let's say you guys both agree that you're gonna move in together before you're engaged, before you're married. Do you move into an apartment first and then a house, or do you go straight to the house? Because I do think it's
For marriage, right?
You said you're engaged?
No, I'm saying you guys have agreed to move in together even before you're engaged, and obviously before you're married. At that point, are you moving in with each other in an apartment, or you're going straight to a house? Because it's a difference.
I would say a house. First of all, I can't even fathom buying a house right now. But I feel like a house is a bigger commitment. So if you guys do break up, I don't know what's gonna happen because
that's part of the reason some people have said that they are fearful of living together before marriage.
How many couples you see buy houses and they're not married?
So, are you saying you're renting or are you getting a house? I'm confused.
I would get an apartment. I'm not getting a house.
Oh yeah, so I was confused by your wording, but yeah, I get an apartment first too.
Well, what if you have kids?
You have kids already?
First off, no, I'm not having
kids.
You
act like so people don't have kids before they get married?
Yeah, so I know that, but me personally, I'm not having kids before I marry my partner. No.
You say that, and then that pregnancy scare get crazy.
Boy, I'm wrapping it up.
Hey, that thing be busting too.
It's not hard. It's not 100%.
Doing everything I can possible so that don't happen.
Double Jimmy?
That's worse.
No,
how's that worse?
More friction, more likely to bust.
Yeah. Anyways.
Why did you say it like that?
Anyways, me personally, I'm not having kids before I marry this person, because it really becomes a problem, like not a problem, a struggle. Then on, things can become more difficult, or can be.
Okay, so I have a question. So let's say in someone here might be familiar with this. Let's say you get with someone who already has a child, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now, and you know, their relationship with the father is whatever it is, right? You have a relationship with this person that have a child. Y'all get together, y'all get in a relationship, right? Y'all decide that she's considering, oh, you know what? We should move in together. You not guys aren't married yet, but you're really committed to this person. You think about she might be the one, and you get along with the kid for the most part. Are you moving in with her and the child before you guys are married, or are you waiting until you guys get married first?
How long you been together for?
Let's say 3 years. Y'all
3 years?
been going in for a good 3 years.
How,
You've been in the child's life.
how old are you?
Especially with the child. How old is who?
How old are each person in the situation?
Let's do a range. Let's say around about 28 to 32. You know, late 20s, early 30s. You know, roundabout. What do you do in that situation? There's a whole child now that's not yours, but you've been in the child's life. What do you do at that point? You moving
I'll
in?
move it with them first. I'll move with them first. I'm not gonna do it, but when we get married, I'll do it first. Again, to see what the living conditions are daily.
In that situation, they can move in with me.
Yeah.
And I say that because I don't know. You said that their relationship with the dad is strange. I'm assuming or whatever, but he still has the right to visit the kid, and I won't feel comfortable doing that because he could visit the kid anytime, which means he's visiting her as well.
Oh yeah, facts.
It's my place, so you can't be coming in my place, right? That you know. But if I'm going to their house, it's like,
that's my kid. This is my house.
Yeah, that's tough. You can meet
but
him
he's
outside.
taking the kid with him. He don't have to stay there. He can take the kid with him.
Meet him outside. You're not coming in my house when I'm not there, for sure. Or my place, or my apartment, or whatever.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
What are you doing, Bobby? Because you never answered any of your questions.
So like I don't know because it's hard to like
oh no, that's crazy. It's hard,
no, don't do that. I'm saying it's hard because of the aspect of the child now, because now you're not just living with her, but you're living with a kid now, and it's like, do you want to be living with, like, I don't know. I feel like it's weird if you're a parent and you have someone that's like living with your child and y'all aren't married yet. I feel like that's a little
not if they've been together for a while.
Yeah,
but depends how old the kid is too.
Like if
how old the kid's under 10, let's say.
But listen, you said that you've been together for a while, and at some point the kid got involved. You became more involved with the kid. It's not like you just hopping on in. Yeah. You get some kind of bonding experience with the child, and that partner will then feel, or even before then, the partner will then feel the need at some point for you to say, "Oh, meet my kid," and then you go on from there.
I mean, that's true. I still think it's definitely going to be tough. I would probably move in before the marriage, but I would be a little apprehensive about it because, like, then the problem is if I grow so attached to the kid, even more so than with the woman, and we become estranged. Now I have to depart from the child, and I was living in the same space as the child now. So now he's looking at me as a possible father figure, and now not only it wasn't just like, oh, I would see him here and there with her, but now we were living together. So now once I leave, that is a whole nother father figure that's detached from him. You see how,
I mean, you still can be a father figure to him outside if you really want to. Otherwise, that's tough. That's tough. His real dad, he got his real dad, but if she,
it's your choice.
If she did you dirty, your relationship is strictly between you and her. That's not your biological.
A woman's not going to be comfortable with the dude that they had a falling out with, still being around her child.
No, you'll leave for sure. You'll leave. Why would you want to stay there?
But that's what I'm saying. That's
You're not staying there for the kid. You gonna stay there for the kid?
What?
You gonna stay there for the kid?
I didn't say that.
And she gonna get her
What?
she gonna get her back blown out every night and you babysitting?
Wow. Wow. Me and Man in the room playing 2K. Meanwhile, his mom getting dusted and busted in the other room.
That's crazy.
Are we wrapping up the thoughts now? Because
I'm been ready.
all right.
So
So in conclusion,
what is y'all verdict on my
We all agree. So I think you proved it. We all agree that people in relationships should live together before getting married, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, that was it.
Mhm.
And then we have a lot of sidetracked
yeah, no shit.
It's part
scenario.
of the conversation. Y'all was acting like y'all didn't know what to say about what I said. So, we had to
We just agreed. That's it.
Okay, any lasting thoughts, Hashim, from you?
Get to know the person before you make the decision. Definitely don't. You can do what you want, but I wouldn't recommend getting married before living with them. And then you live with them, and then you're like, well, damn, you had 2 kids the whole time. I didn't even know. That's some of my final thoughts.
This life is hard enough. For something like that, you don't need any crazy surprises to make it harder. So take a step at a time. Get to know the person by living with them first before you do that whole ring on your finger, put a ring on it, that kind of situation. You feel me? So yeah, walk with some wisdom. Okay, no surprises. Like Hashim said, oh, you got 2 kids. I didn't even know. I was gonna tell you that. Nah,
It just never came up.
Oh my god,
It's not come up in conversation. How does that happen?
It never came up.
Y'all talking about favorite colors and not about your 14-year-old is crazy, bro.
No, why would they? More if they just got custody of the kids,
Nah, what'd be crazy is you with your girl, you move in, and then some kid walks in, and you know how the kids these days are having some deep ass voices, and they're only 14. Walking saying, "Yo, mom, what's up?" He's like, "Who the fuck is that?" Oh, that's my son. Yo, what? Nah.
Got Zion just pulling up in your crib. Yeah, it was good, little man.
What's good?
Hi, Zion, bro.
What's good, little
buddy?
dude? What's good, little dude? You try to play me in ones?
Yo.
Don't go with your bitch ass. That's crazy, bro. Damn.
Yo, that's crazy.
That couldn't be me. So Wale, you basically saying I proved my point?
Yeah, you did.
Hey, I'm 2-0, man. I like this.
Are you 2-0 though?
I am. I'm cooking. Y'all agree with me?
You were 1.5. You were 1.5.
What's
professionalism? Because you said professionalism is a myth, and we agree with you overall. But the part where you said it's a myth and it doesn't exist, we said you had to lose that.
Well, so y'all agree with me with the living single. Well, at least Hashim did. So I'm 3-0. If we being honest.
Who agreed with you living single?
You did, sir. Roll back the tape.
I said Fresh Prince, did I?
You argued that, but Wale was more so arguing with me because he never seen Living Single. You agree
No,
with me.
I said I can understand where you came from, but I'm still going with Fresh Prince. You crazy saying I agree with you Living Single.
Listen, for everyone who watches and listening to this, go to the beginning. Wale, you'll find the clip. Go to the beginning of the best black sitcom Prove It or Lose It. That was the first Prove It or Lose It we did. Go listen to what Hashim says in the beginning. Wale, you'll find the clip.
All right.
That's all I'm gonna say.
My boy just gave you homework.
Type shit. Well, if that's the case, Hashim, I'm definitely give you the previous episode. So expect that.
Yeah.
Plus, you got the one that's more like the most heated one. One of the most heated ones. So have fun editing that. Yeah,
I'll try. I try to add my little spin to it.
My lasting thoughts is, listen, man. I get everyone has different values and different views on things. Some people love their space. Everyone loves their space, especially their sleeping space, right? I get it. But at a certain point, we gotta restore humanity. We gotta restore thought, okay? It is in the best nature for everybody involved to live together before you get married. Okay, you're making a lifelong decision. Okay, till death do you part. You need
This is
to
the third time you said this shit.
no, because it matters. Okay, you need to know if this person is a psychopath, a sociopath, a something else path. You need to know these things. You need to
Like,
know
listen-
if they snore. You need to know
Listen,
these.
you don't want to be like Mark's mom and find out her husband was Omni Man, who's a killer. You feel me? Y'all all seen Invincible. She lived
There's
with
no
this
way
man for years and ain't even come up.
There's no way for her to figure that one out. Impossible. He don't watch Invincible. I can see.
I
it on his
definitely
face.
don't. I
Bro,
don't
you
know.
should watch Invincible.
Oh.
But listen, the truth came out eventually. She found it out in the house. You know.
He was a good little pet.
All right, we're done.
All right, y'all. Have a good one. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, Instagram. Follow our individual socials. If you want to be on the podcast, let us know. One of my friends did hit me up. He does want to be on the podcast. I'll talk to you guys after. But
Yo, so you didn't think to hit us up with this now? You just
he
said,
hit
oh
us up-
yeah.
he hit me up this morning.
You wait till now to tell us?
What was gonna happen? We're not
You
doing
had
that
all day to nah. See, yo.
All right, thank you guys for
Children,
watching.
children, my seed.
Shut up, boy.
Thank you guys for watching. We out.